So the first sentence evolved rather than adapted because it's over millions of years, and that implies like a species level change, whereas adaptation might be too small a scale. We might adapt a tool to use it for some other purpose, or adapt a literary work into a film or something like that. So evolution maybe works better here. Actually, in a biological sense, adaptation probably also works. Evolve just seems slightly better. Um, we've evolved to organize our psychological processes according to altering states of light and darkness. So I would actually say alternating rather than altering, because altering states means changing states. Alternating means we actually have patterns, first light, then dark, then light, then dark. So day, night, day, night. So I actually think that part of the problem with this sentence is that they've chosen the wrong verb. Altering is kind of okay, but alternating is much more precise. But then in the second sentence, this idea of our nights changing, this is related to the choice of the word thanks, because to say that something is thanks to something else is to say it's because of something else. So thanks to means because of. So this is the explanation you're looking for. Our nights have changed because of the use of electric light. And that's also why evolved doesn't really work there. You also you don't usually talk about evolving to something. You might talk about evolving into something, but not evolving to. That's a good point. So what we actually have in the first sentence is the to there is part of an infinitive. So you're right, it's a verb. So evolved to organize. We have evolved to organize. Have evolved to organize all together forms the verbal phrase, and to is part of that. In the second example, it's to is prepositional. It's about the circumstances or the qualities of some process. So that's the difference. And in fact, thanks to together is altogether that's working in that way. It's showing a logical relationship between the different parts. Like this is the case because of this. This is the case thanks to this. So so you're right. We can evolve to, but only if we've actually got it as part of a verb group or a verb cluster, we might call it. Of these are verbs that are stacked together.
Oh, this will, okay.
Yeah. So your company needs to evolve in order to grow. Evolve to grow.
Yeah.
So
Can you
they're
give us
saying
more example for evolve that can come to here? Because when I check the dictionary, let me show you evolve. There is one.
evolve to would never be that would never be the verb group by itself. Whereas you can include evolve from, evolve into, those combinations with certain prepositions that make that process clear.
So
Yeah, we've evolved to do something specific. So the process is evolving. You could also say we've evolved toward the organization of our psychological processes. So you could use a preposition, but it would be toward rather than to. We could say we've evolved into creatures that alternate their psychological processes according to light and darkness. So yeah, so built up as an adjective, it kind of means developed or populated, but also with lots of streets and buildings, usually cars, street lights. So in most built-up areas, the night is no longer dark. What they're saying is in most cities, but also suburbs, towns, anywhere where there's a lot of human building. I think the idea here is that our eyes work best in daylight. They work less well at nighttime, whereas there are some creatures that are adapted contrary wise. They're adapted so that their eyes are huge and they pull in lots of light, and so during the daytime they can't see very well. Like owls. They'll be asleep during the day. So the question of acted, this is partly about the subject of this clause. So you could say that light acts on or light acts to, but you can't say that light acts something. Light acts humans. Do that. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, it's passive. So I think that light, it's about the subject. Light can't act humans.
Yeah.
It can act on humans. It can act for humans to show a path, but it can't act them. To act something, it's like if we don't have one of those other prepositions in there, to act something is to perform it.
Exactly.
So we couldn't say that light, performs or has performed humans.
No.
They're using colonize here partly as a metaphor. They're imagining that the nighttime is actually a whole other world or another place. It's part of the human world that we couldn't control or take over because we didn't have light and our eyes don't work very well at night. So instead we would huddle in our buildings or around our fires and stay clear of the night, stay out of the nighttime. But now that we've got electric light, it's like a metaphor. We've colonized it. We've conquered it.
Okay.
So there's no time of night in Sydney, for example, where you can't still walk around on the streets.
Yeah, great.